Yeah, so the appraised value doesn't matter when it comes to that at this moment.
Right.
But now that they have your appraised value up here and you don't protest it to
Right.
bring it back down at least some, next year you're starting at this level, not at
Right.
this level.
Well, I think that's and that I think has a lot to do with why we didn't protest our taxes the last few years, because we've got a homestead exemption, a homestead cap. So, and by the way, homestead exemption, if you're a homeowner and it's your primary residence and you haven't filed for your homestead exemption, my goodness, do it. It's super easy. You can do it online, and it'll do two things for you. One is you get an automatic reduction in the value that they're using to tax you on. So for school districts, that reduction now is $100,000. I mean, that makes a big difference to your school taxes. So you definitely want to do that. The second thing, though, and gets back to the point I was just making, is it places a cap on the amount that your taxable value can increase each year. So that cap, I mean, I'm just going to make up an example. Let's say your taxable value started at $200,000. Well, let's say the market said now your home is worth $700,000. But if you had that homestead cap, what they may be taxing you on has only risen to $300,000. So there's that huge gap between the taxable value and the actual appraised value, which is what we noticed.
Right.
Was our appraised value is way up here, but we're getting taxed still at a relatively low level. And so we just kind of blew it off. But yeah, I mean, to your point, if we ever stopped having the home as our homestead, thus losing the cap, or we go to sell the home and the next person has to come in and immediately is faced with this really, really high tax bill that doesn't look anything like taxes we're paying. So yeah, I mean, that argues for what you were saying. Always protest and just
Right.
see what happens.
Right.